Hi everyone, Linda Israel here. Thank you so much for being here during my live stream. I greatly appreciate your support. I've pre-recorded this so that we can have some of the behind the scenes done while you listen to me for just a moment. I again want to thank you so very much for being here during my live stream. If you could, give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends so that they can come join us. And if you will also give me a comment in the comment section after this video is done, and then definitely speak up in the chat and say hi. Lastly, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Now, if you're watching this as a replay, generally, if you're on a computer, you can go down below and look for the little gear. You can change that and make the speed faster. If you're on a mobile device, look up in the corner, up in this area for three little dots, and you can change the speed there as well. Those of you that are here live, do definitely speak up in the chat. I greatly appreciate you being here. Well, those that are here live earn a virtual currency. Junkie Joe should be coming up here in just a moment, and you'll be able to check how many bucks that you have. What are bucks? They're junk bucks. It's just a virtual point system that I have created on my account when we're live so that you can redeem those once you get to 2,000 for a $10 off coupon to my shop. So you can type exclamation point bucks to see how many that you have. And if you have 2,000 and you're ready for a coupon code, type exclamation point award, and my official note takers will take down that information. Now, if you haven't already created an account on my website at lindaisrael.com, please do so, and then send me a message through the contact form letting me know what your YouTube username is. Why? So I'll have your email address and I can email you your coupon code. Also, if you make a donation throughout this live stream, you can be added to my YouTube donators membership that I have on my website. So again, create an account, say, hey, Linda, I donated, and tell me what your username is on YouTube if it's different. That way I can get you added to that. At the end of this stream, I will have journals made, and you will have the opportunity to win one of those journals. Throughout the live stream, we'll have some various raffles, and we also have in-chat games. So be looking out for that in the chat, and I'll kind of speak it up when I get to it. For example, if you type exclamation point raffle, right now you can be in a chance to win 200 junk bucks. So you'll be well on your way to getting 2,000 junk bucks. Normally, Robin is my official note taker. Sometimes Angelica is my official note taker. It kind of depends on what's going on. These are members and administrators of my Facebook group, the Friendly Junk Journal People Facebook group. If you haven't joined that group, we'd love to have you come and join us over there. What else? Let's keep the chat upbeat, friendly, and helpful. Hey, if you have a question, try to put it in all caps. That way I'll see it. If I don't see it, please don't be offended. The chat sometimes moves fast, and I'm usually looking down trying to create things. So please ask again. But if you know the answer that someone else's question, please go ahead and answer for them. I greatly appreciate that. Let's see, what else? Oh, if you have a YouTube channel, you can't post your link, but you can say, I have a YouTube channel, and tell us a little bit about it. Tell us your channel name, something like that. Tell us what you do. We're going to get started here in just a moment. I'm looking at the time. So roughly 5 minutes is when I'll get started. So it should be just a few more seconds. So definitely hang out in the chat, and we'll get started here in just a moment. Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm so glad to have you here today. If you didn't know, I'm Linda Israel. So hello, hello, hello. Oh, cool, Sam. You used the transparency film to make some microfilm specimen pieces. Awesome. So glad to hear that. That's amazing. Yay. Welcome, y'all. So glad to have you here. I just realized I didn't put your lipstick on. I might look dead. My mom was always getting on to me. Put some lipstick on. You look dead. Not babysitting today, Gigi. Good. I am behind on sending out prizes. I got a few of them sent out when I sent out orders. We're having laser issues. I'm hoping tomorrow I have resolved the issue that we'll be able to finish cutting some rubber stamps. I know several of you are waiting on orders for rubber stamps and stencils. The subscription box for Wild and Free, I still have some of those left, so definitely check out my link to get to my shop and order while I have those in stock. So thank you so much for supporting me. I greatly appreciate your being here in the chat as well as for supporting me financially. I know that life is busy. I know that money is tight, so I greatly appreciate you spending some time here with me today. Thank you, Lori, and thank you, Margie, for your donation. I greatly appreciate it. This is a sneak peek of the next kit. If you have heard me, I've mentioned that the next kit will be Under the Sea. So it will have, as you can see, various sea life. I made this pattern, which will be a larger, but will be fish stencil. And then I picked a bunch of images that I asked Norella to use. I also gave her some of my mixed media background. So if you notice this right here, that pattern, it's actually from a gel print that I made. And then Norella's added in a bunch of seahorses and all kinds of fish. I really love how this kit has come together. You can kind of see some of the bubble wrap from one of my gel printing sessions, especially on this one, you can really see it. So I just wanted to share, get you a little excited about the next kit, Under the Sea. Look at all that coral. And this would be a page that if you printed it by itself, you could fussy cut that and that could be a pocket. And I love the way this patterning with using my gel print in the background and the stencil pattern. And then it's going to have a mermaid. I think it's so cute. So she's not super realistic. She's kind of, I don't know, hand-drawn, cartoonish, but I think it's really pretty. So I hope that you will love seeing Under the Sea, which is the next subscription box. It will come out in May. All right, today I have in front of me a page out of the Amarillo Rose. And what I did prior to starting here is I went ahead and trimmed out these two elements. I printed it on one side because I plan to glue it on something else. Hey, Janet, welcome, welcome, welcome. You're going to like the next sub box, Robin. Yay! Love, Margie. Yay! Thank you. Thank you, Julie. Woohoo! Hey, Kristen. Hey, Laura. Hello, Janice. Hello, hello, hello. All right, so first off, I want to put behind here a book page that's been altered. So what I'm going to do is I've got some dried lavender. Oh, thank you, Gigi. Thank you so very much. Some dried lavender, Tattered Angels, and I am spraying. It's very pale, so I may not have shaken this up very well. I've got another one here. Let's see if I got this one ready. It's really pale, so I'm also going to grab Wild Purple from the Wild and Free. Oh yeah, I like that a little better. It's a little bit brighter. And I want to dry that. You know, I'm going to set this aside so we don't have to wait on it. Me to do that. So this piece is going to go over here. On this side, I think all I want to do for this one is back it with some paper, and let's add some lace to it. So I've got a little piece of paper here, and all I'm going to do is just glue this down. I do plan to sew around it, so we'll get the sewing lamb that Giovanna made. So I'm just going to pretty much just line this up in here. And I'm backing it with a book page so that it will be a little bit sturdier because it was printed on copy paper. That's the only reason. You can use scraps of paper that you have, your junk mail. You could use cardstock if you want. I didn't feel that I needed to use a super heavy backing with it. I just wanted a little bit of something here. So get that out of the way. And then I may back it again. I've got some lace here. This time I've got blue. The last time I did it, I used a white. But I think the blue would be really pretty on here. So I'm going to cut this. First, I want to cut it straighter. It's not very straight up here. Line this up, and then I'll cut it across here. Oh, thank you, Robin, for your donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love this Amarillo Rose kit that Norella put together. It's gorgeous. If you haven't taken a gander at it, I highly recommend that you do so. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some tape. And I want to tape the lace in place for a moment. And I think I am going to cut another piece of paper. Let's see if I've got another book page that I can tear up, so to speak. And I think I just want to make it even with the edge here. So I'm going to glue this down. Sandwiching that lace is what I'm doing. Go on this side. So that it will not catch on things that we put in the pocket. So it may be a little overkill with the book pages, but that way it's nice and neat. Okay. All right, so here's the piece. I've put another book page on the back, smooth this out. And now what I'm going to do is go over to the sewing machine and stitch around this outside edge. Okay? Sewing lamb. Ba, ba, da, ba, ba, da, ba. Is that how we do it? Oh, yes. By the way, the Amarillo Rose, if you don't have a printer, you can get that kit as a cut and paste book. So you can check the link in the description box here and go to Amazon to pick that up. She has, I don't know, half a dozen. I don't know if she's got to 10 yet, but she's getting there. She keeps adding them. All right, so over here at my sewing machine, I just have a regular sewing machine, regular thread set up with a zigzag stitch. I'm using black thread in my upper and my lower. And I have it set for 3.5 by 1.4. What I do recommend is you don't sew over wet glue. And other than that, I sew on it just as if it was sewing on just fabric, okay? Oh, refresh if you're having issues. Thank you, Rhonda, for your donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Rhonda donated $10. Thank you so very much. All right, so I'm going to start in here. Are you seeing me? All right. Thank you, Mrs. Edmondson, for your donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm just going to stitch around. When I get to a corner, I put the needle down, and then I'll lift it, the presser foot, and then rotate it around, and then I'll continue sewing. And that just, to me, gives it a little bit cleaner corner, if you will. We're stitching. So I just stitched all the way around there. All right, so now let me get my cameras all set back up. All right, this is still rather wet, so now that it's been sitting a while, let's dry it. I may even turn it over and mop it off. Mop it up! Thank you, thank you, thank you for supporting me, y'all. I greatly appreciate it. Hey, while we're waiting on that to dry, I'll show you where to go. I'm going to set my heat tool here for a second. This is going to be the outside cover of the journal. I spent some time fussy cutting and placing and trying to figure out what I wanted for a journal cover. Hey, did you know that if you take some white or maybe even unbleached muslin or cotton fabric and use freezer paper that has shiny wax on one side and paper on the other, and if you iron that to your fabric and cut it precisely to fit 8.5 by 11 inches, that you can run fabric through an inkjet printer. Oh, thank you, Nadine, for your donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You can print on fabric. What I did was I was cleaning out my desk and my computer desk, if you will, looking for some things, and I happened to find where I had started to print on fabric, but it jammed on me. So this has a different image underneath. So what I did was I ironed it really well so it wouldn't be so wrinkled, and I turned it around and fed it this way so it would feed through. And I'm okay that it printed over that. I will cut this part off, but that's what I did. Was I had 3 sheets of partially usable fabric, and I printed the kit on top of the fabric, and then I peeled off the paper backing, and then I sewed it into place. So I just thought I'd show you. That's going to be the journal cover. All right, so now I've got this piece that's going to go here. I've got this piece that I want to put down even with my page here, and I'll go ahead and glue it onto this book page. So I'm kind of being a little meticulous where the butterfly is. And actually, before I do that, I want to add a piece of lace again. So I'm going to grab this piece of lace. Thank you, Laura, for your donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so I got a little piece of lace here. I'll put a little bit of glue there. And now I'm going to line this up. All right, and I'll take my scissors, and what I want to do on this edge is cut it even. And then I want to rip this upper portion so it's just above the lace. My fingers aren't long enough there, and I'm just tearing around the image from the Amarillo Rose journal page. And I'm just carefully tearing this out. Why? To give the pocket a little bit of strength, and it covers up where I cut it from the page behind. So even when I match this up, you won't be able to see that area. So let's add some distress inks there. Are you going to say, are you muted on YouTube? Oh no. Usually I have to check that if the video has sound, and then if I'm using my computer or my iPad or my phone, that the system sound is on. So you might check both. You know, I went in, Sam, on something else, and it was asking me to update on a bunch of things. So I think maybe it's just that time of year. Just wanted us to update. Just so we didn't have to wait on me to dry the paper, I did a stenciling using the Romantic Flourish stencil. In fact, this is the mop-up using some purples and pinks together, and that's going to be my foundation paper that'll go underneath here. And then I need to sew on this piece. I'm waiting for the glue to dry a little bit. and I want to glue this piece down. But before I glue it down, I want to do some stitching on the page, and I don't want it to bleed through to the other side. So what we'll do is we'll go back to the sewing machine, and I will stitch around this piece, and I'll stitch across here. I was trying to remember if there was other places I went. Right here. And I think I'll stitch around this area here. I also have a piece of fabric that I stamped on, and I thought it would look really cute with this purple. I just happened to grab it right before the live stream. So I'm going to trim it. And after I sew that, I'll stitch this little guy down. How's that? So we'll do some sewing. Sewing! Sewing! Yeah, everything asked for an update today. It's crazy. Thank you, Janice. All right, so let's go to the sewing machine. And I'll set this right here for now. Let's stitch around this piece, here, here, and around this piece. Okay, see if I can remember all those. This journal has a ton of sewing in it. I don't know why. I just got inspired and started sewing on the papers, adding fabric. Several of the pages have ruffled edges. What else did I do? I used very little lace. I don't have a whole lot of lace, but I did use a couple of pieces. In fact, this is one of those pages. So I'm just going around the images, adding a little bit of stitches. You know, you could also use these shabby stitches rubber stamp set if you don't sew. And you just mask off where you don't want the stamping to happen. And then just stamp along the areas where this is joined together. Yeah, I think everything, something else wanted me to update right as the stream started. I was like, no, I can't do it right now. It messes everything up. All right, so I stitched all the way around here. One more thing that I'm going to do that I didn't do. So I'm just trying to find where my center is, so I creased it. Because I want to put this guy still on this side, and we're going to just stitch around that. So I just used my archival ink jet black, and this is from the Swirl Birds, I think it's called. There's a set of 4, and I happen to have a little scrap of some unbleached muslin on my desk, and I just stamped on it. So that's sewed on. So now we've got that textile. No dish soap. All right, so now what I want to do is stitch around this piece here. So I'll start here. How is everybody? Did y'all have a good weekend, a good week? I had a good enough week. We've had, the heater broke again, so I had to have somebody come out to fix that. So it broke in January, and it broke again in March. Henry had one of his pieces of equipment break, so he had to order a part for that. I said, no more bad things this year. I don't want any more bad things. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to adhere this piece to my book or my mop-up page, which I think is slightly smaller because I think it shrinks, so we'll trim it. And what I'll do is put glue, and I'm really wanting to make sure that this is all glued down so it becomes one piece of paper. Okay. And I'll use this edge as my straight edge here to line it up. And then press it out. And it is a little bit longer, so I'll just take my scissors and cut off the excess. All right, before we put the pockets on, I want to stitch all the way around. I know, I told y'all, if fighting allergies, me too. I've been had a headache. I take Benadryl and Tylenol, Zyrtec. I switched between, what was the other, Zyrtec and Claritin. I need to buy more Claritin. I think I'm out because I try to switch it up. So I understand. Oh, you got to have the thread in the needle in order to sew. I ran out of bobbin thread 3 times working on this journal. That's how much sewing I've done on the parts that you haven't even seen yet. All right, now come on, machine. It's gonna be a cranky machine. All right, there we go. Why didn't it thread it? Oh, I can't see. Come on. See, that's what happens. I say no more bad things, and I start to have issues with my sewing machine that I love to be a good machine now. Come on. Yay, I got it threaded. And I've been saving threads. I have a little basket here, and I'll use them every once in a while when I stitch on things. All right, let's try this again. We should have thread now. Do I have bobbin thread? I may need to switch that out. No, I don't. I just switched it. I'm trying to remember. I just switched it out. I don't know what it is about stitching around my pages on the elements. It just makes me happy. Now, if you don't have this kit by Norella, but you have a ton of scrapbook papers, you have old book pages, you've got rubber stamps, make your own collage page. I've done it with some painted papers, quite a bit of painted papers. If I've got it where I can grab one, I'll show you. I just wanted to use the kit because I love it. I kind of bugged her. I kept saying, you should do one that has all collage papers. So you can cut them up and just do whatever you want with them. I'll show y'all some of my papers that I've been making. All right, you can watch on your computer, but it's not as big as your TV. The weather has been nuts. It has been. So this is some of my, what I call Frankenpage scrappy paper. So I just took a really thin book page, a dictionary page, and then I just grabbed scraps of paper and collaged them on. These are a mix of scrapbook paper, printed paper, gel prints, all throughout these. This one is a handmade, hand stenciled. It's not a gel print. It's where I used my brayer in the background, and then I used a dauber through the stencil, and it's got texture. So even if you don't have the Amarillo Rose or you can't afford to purchase it, go through your stash and see if you can't make your own little page. All right, let's put that back over here. Oh, and I'll have to show you another thing I started doing because I was having a problem finding some of my rubber stamps. So what I did was, I made tabs. So if y'all don't know, I index mine so that I could see the image. Well, then I started making these little tabs because the cubby that I have here behind me. Oh, thank you, Heather, for your donation. Thank you, Laura, Nadine, the Mrs. Edmondson, Rhonda Bennett, Robin, Gigi's Art Addict, Margie, who is Jinka Mafink, and Lori for your donation. So I went ahead and made little labels to go on the ends so that when I wanted my stamp sheet, like this is Alice in Wonderland, and these are some of the birdies, it makes it a lot easier when I want them. I startled Hercules. He's back here sleeping. All right, so then we want to put this down. And I think this time I'm just going to glue it. Sometimes I'll put like a piece of paper in here so that I can put a thing that can fill the whole pocket, but I don't need to today anyway. Okay, and then I'll glue this one over here. So this is a great way if you like your pages to feel more substantial, a little bit thicker, printing on one piece of paper and then adhering it to another will give it a little more heft, if you will. All right, so I'm going to take this piece and fold it in half. Okay. So we're waiting for that to dry. What I'll do is I'll print the pages first, and then I'll come back and change the paper in my printer and print the ephemera. Well, apparently I sent through the printer a bunch of pages of the ephemera on text weight or copy paper. So I'm going to take this piece and glue it to this piece of ivory cardstock here. We'll leave a little bit of a border around it. And we'll cut this out. So you can take those ephemera cut and paste books. Since they're going to be on a thinner paper, you probably will want to back the journal cards and little pieces onto another piece of paper. Well, you just do that. Just glue it down. Okay. I like that. I'm going to use my ID punch. So this is my ID tag punch. And I just realized I didn't distress the back very well. Okay, that kind of got that. And then I want some fabric for in here. So I'll get, this is my little baggie of fabrics that I've been using today. Oh, I think that might be just enough. That if we take this, get out of the way. Yeah, just a touch of fabric. Doesn't need a whole lot, just a little touch. So let's stitch around this. I know, more sewing. You love them? Yeah, just back them up. Great ideas for stamps. Yeah, thank you, Nadine. You've purchased some matte photo paper hoping it will stop the bleeding of your inkjet. Ah. Well, I use, what do I call mine? Mine is HP premium paper when I print my pages. And then I tell it on my print settings that I'm printing to matte paper. And that keeps it from bleeding, if you will, having fuzzy images. All right, so I'm going to stitch across the top here and then go all the way around my little tag. You're just going to also use your recycled boxes like your cereal or your pasta boxes, whatever you get boxes in. It's funny because a lot of people say, well, don't you use your packaging, Linda? Well, honestly, we very rarely buy pre-packaged foods. We buy what I consider fresh ingredients or raw ingredients to make our food. So I don't get a lot of packaging. I told your lamb to be quiet. Too funny. All right, so I like that. And it's got a little birdie on there. Let's look at my stamps. I don't know if that's too big. If I put "Don't forget to fly," that might work. It may not be too big. So let's look here. I save my little strips whenever I cut things apart. Stamp block here. Don't forget to fly. All right, let me get this where I can see it. I mean, I know it's all, you want to see it too, but I just stamp it in the middle. Remember to just press straight down. Don't rock your stamp. You don't have to push super hard. You just got to let it sit for a moment so that the ink will transfer. All right, let me put this back. Hello, Norella. I showed the Under the Sea. Here we go. Back. Under the Sea. Does it feel like it's swimming by? I know. I'll crack myself up. All right, so let's cut this. And let's add some Distress inks. This week I plan to finish some orders, but once I get all of that from the laser, I plan to work in my studio space because I have got to find my bone folders. I also need to find my punch that I love that I haven't been able to find, and a few other things, and put some things away. So what if we did it at an angle? Don't forget to fly. Thank you, Janice, for your donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I think that's what I'll do. We'll glue this on the fabric, and then we'll glue the fabric and everything down at an angle. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I greatly appreciate your support. Gotcha. See, I don't do a lot of mixed media over the printed pages, but when I do, I use a spray fixative, Bonnie. Let me show you. Oh, did y'all see? Can you see my daffodils? My daffodils? I use this workable fixative. And if I know I'm going to watercolor over something or get it wet and it might bleed, then I will spray it. It's expensive because I bought this one. I could use a coupon. So you can't use a coupon at Hobby Lobby anymore. I got to go somewhere else. I spray it and then let it dry, and then I can come back in and watercolor over it or paint over it, and it won't bleed with the image that was printed. All right, you like that? So this piece will go right here. And then I made a card. This is another one of the elements that I printed on copy paper, and then I sewed around it after I glued it down. My sewing machine did not like doing a tiny single stitch that time, so I need to work on my machine a little. So that's going to go in there. So that's this side. So let's flip this over. Oh yeah, that's right. I should have sewn all the way. I forgot. Dang it. Oh well. I forgot that when I made this, I ended up sewing the papers to get all the way around. I don't know why I didn't do it this time, but oh well. Okay. Let's add some decoration here. I'm looking at my sample. Okay. So, I get a scrap of paper. I'm everywhere today. I've got, I can't remember if this is French correspondence or French script, but I'm going to stamp it. Make sure I got it right side up. Okay. I'm going to stamp it across the corner like that. And I'll just kind of barely kiss it in a couple of places. Maybe that will distract from I didn't sew these corner pieces. That's just hilarious that I didn't do that. All right, and then I have this little birdie, which is all right. Now I just had that sheet. This is the nest cube. You get these two birds, a birdhouse and the nest. So I've got the little bird, and I want to stamp it up here. And then I have from the bird house cube, we never miss the music until the sweet voiced bird has flown away. And I'll stamp it down here. And since I didn't sew, let's get some shabby stitches. Or let's just get the stitches. That way we can do a decorative. So I'm going to do this decorative border. We can improvise. So I will stamp this going this way. And then we'll stamp it going this way. So that fills our corner. You see that? Let's do that over here. That's funny that I didn't remember to sew. Put the stamp back where it belongs. Back where it belongs so I can find it again. Put that up there. All right. So we never miss the music until the sweet voiced bird has flown away. And then I have the music stamp, and I want to just kind of barely touch it in a couple of places. Put that back where it belongs. Put that one away. Put this one away. Put it away. Put it away. Put it away. All right, so that's just kind of really plain, but nice and smooth so you can still write over it. And then on this side, I have from the kit one of the ticket area elements. Yes, the name of this stencil is called the Romantic Flourish stencil. That is a new stencil in my shop. Well, see, my messing up gave a teaching moment. I didn't put fabric under the other one. See where I filled in with stamping, where I didn't stitch. You see the script in the background a little bit. And then the birdie, and then the music beside it. Kind of a couple of places of music. You like that stencil, Norella? Thank you. I like it. I like how it turned out. And I like how it stencils. Here it is in a lighter color set of a mop-up page. I happen to have laying here, so I just went ahead and made a page. So same concept. All right. I got a journal page made. Woohoo! All right, let's put this over here. Let's get my desk reset. Get it set. Ready, set, go. I feel like I need to clean my hands. That's what happens when I touch stuff. You're not typing fast enough? We all know there's no mistakes. Exactly. It's just a learning opportunity. You typed boss 3 times? Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was a stencil. Okay. Getting all the things. that we're going to use this time. Whoop. My desk is a mess. Did anybody see my photos that I shared on Facebook and Instagram about how messy my desk was today? Okay. I did some coffee dyeing and I did some avocado dyeing. I dyed some papers, book pages. I dyed music sheets and copy paper. And actually it wasn't copy paper. It was paper that was actually green. It was that color, kind of a green color. And then it ended up where this is the green. You can see the difference there with the coffee dye. And then here's what it looked like. My avocado dye papers turned out really dark. And I don't know if it's because of how many avocado skins that I had. What I did was we eat avocado almost every single day. So what I did was I took the skins and I fourthed them and put them in Ziploc baggies and put them in the freezer. Then once I had a full Ziploc baggie, like the small sandwich, like this size sandwich bag, full, I decided, okay, I'm going to do it. And so I put it on the stove and I think I simmered it for about 35 to 45 minutes. And then I started dunking my papers, and then I did the one method. Someone said that avocado dye papers work better if you put them in the oven to get the drying process started. So I started drying them in the oven, and then I pulled them out before they were completely dry. And I used our heat press to press the paper, and that completely dried them and made them really smooth. This was a coffee dyed paper, so you can kind of see the dark edges here. Then this is one of the avocado dye papers, and I just lost it. All right, I'm losing my mind. And what I want to do is I want to stencil on this piece. So I've got the Little Daisies. I think this is called Little Daisies. Not more Little Daisies, but Little Daisies. I have seedless preserves and a little oval brush. So we're going to come in here and add a little bit of a pattern to that. I think that's the only time I use that one. There we go. Can I use this again? I better look at the other side. Okay, no. All right, so we'll put that up there. Slip this over here. Put this back in here. All right, so I've got this page. So what I want to do is fold this over for now. And I went ahead earlier and I had some scrapbook paper. This is I'm trying to use up my scrapbook paper. Bye, Norella. See you later. I'm trying to use up my scrapbook paper as much as possible. So this is one of my scrapbook papers that I started cutting up for this page. And go right there. I thought that would look cute up there in the corner. So as I show them to you, I'll glue them down. I basically had cut a piece of this paper for something else, and then this was the piece that was left over, so then I cut it into a square and so I could use it. And then I want to put down, I think, this guy over the top like that. So I'm going to glue this one down. Some of them I went around with stitches and some of them I did not. I'm looking at my example. All right, I think I want to go like that. And then we'll glue this one. This is just a book page that I happen to have here, and I just went around the edge with Distress ink. And then I've got one of Norella's images that I thought I'd put up here. Trying to show y'all collages. Poke, poke, nudge, nudge. All right. Y'all enter the raffle. So put that right about there. And I'd already glued some lace to the back of this piece of cardstock that's from the Amarillo Rose set. I used all of the kits. She's got a folio kit. She's got some ephemera packs. She's got the pages. I don't know. I printed all of it. Even some French words she had. Okay. And then from the ticket duo, I stamped on some pages that I painted with Tattered Angels. I don't know if you can see the shimmer. And I thought I would glue that down there. So this is a rubber stamp. And then this is the Bella Rose rubber stamp that I watercolored. I used watercolor pencils first, and then I came back in and used my water brush to spread the color around. This is stamped on white cardstock. So we'll put that one right here. My nose itches. What is it? Does that mean I'm going to get money? Or does that mean someone with a hole in their britches is coming to see me? And then we'll put this one right here. All right, y'all enter the raffle. How's that? Is that kind of cute as a little collage page? I need a drink. It's overcast where you live, Julie. All right. Let's flip this over. And on this one, I know we're getting ready to do the raffle. Y'all enter the raffle. You love the yellow with the blue accent piece? Isn't that cool? All right. This is another piece of scrapbook paper that I cut into a strip because I was doing something else and I cut it wrong. So this ended up being in my stash here. And then I cut a 1-inch piece of book page and glued it on top to the side. Then I took a piece of this fuzzy trim that I've had forever in my stash and I glued it with the best glue ever. It's by Scrap Perfect, best glue ever. I just put a little bead of glue down the center and let that air dry for a moment. Then I stuck the trim down carefully and patted it. And then when I know it was dry, I stitched over the top of that. This is one of my tear off pages. And then I stenciled it. I'm getting the stencil. The Flourish tile. I used a blending brush through the stencil and got that pattern. And then this is elements from the kit. This is also from the kit. And I stitched this after I glued it, and I glued it to another piece of paper. So it's a little bit stronger because this is going to become a pocket. And because I glued this as one piece, you won't catch on anything. So if you have a problem with your items catching because you've got layered papers, well, then just glue a book page or something, a piece of trash paper, to the back that you're not going to see. And that will help smooth that back when you go to put down or put in a journal card or something. Well, both your nose and your palms itch, and the only thing I get is allergy meds. Gotcha. All right, so there is a little pocket that I put on there, and I'm going to show you where I'm putting it inside. But first, let me get a prize. What are y'all worth today? How good have you been? I'm trying to decide which is better, to do the stamps I want to give you now or the mini journal. I think we're going to do the mini journal. All right. So we're going to do 200 junk bucks right now. And that winner of 200 junk bucks is Lori Merchant, congratulations. You get 200 junk bucks added to your account. And this is a mini rose journal. All right, so I'm going to give away a little mini rose journal that I made a while back. I had these for sale in a couple of shops, and I got them all back, and they've been sitting in my stash. So it's got a variety of scrapbook paper and looks like some copy paper, notebook paper, more copy paper. This is some of my mop-up papers out of my spray box and a book page. It's not real fancy. It's just a simple little journal that you can add to your own embellishments. You can even add some lace or embellishments on the front here. So that is the next raffle. All right. So inside here, again, I'm trying to use up my scrapbook paper. Take a piece of scrapbook paper and cut it 6 inches by 12 inches. And then what I did was I scored on one end at 4.5 inches. And then on the other end, I scored 3 inches. So now I have this piece that's been scored, 1, 2. You fold this and you fold this over. And again, this was some of the elements that I printed on copy paper, which I felt worked out really well in this case because I put a doily behind there. I layered it with another one of the elements from Norella's kit. And I just like that overlap that it has. And you flip this over. This is the lavender stamp set. I have a whole series of little plants and the word because I did an apothecary journal from Norella. And I think I want to do another apothecary. I think I'm about to do. I may mix apothecary with a Amarillo Rose. I think that might work. I may do that. Okay. So then this is from the same bird cube that I showed you earlier. You can go and search bird stamps on my website. When you get there and you've got a bird image on your screen and you're drilled down to the description and everything, if you'll scroll down just a little bit below the description, there'll be some words, and I can't remember what color they are, but there'll be some words that'll be tags. And if you click birds, then it will take you to all the bird items that I have in my shop, by the way. Anyhow, scrapbook paper, add a little embellishment. And then this slides back here. And so we've got this nice little layered look. And it's more writing paper. I know, doily, I can't believe it. All right, so now let's flip this over. We've done this side. Let's go to this side. So let me get all my little elements. I gotta find all my thingies that I'm gonna use. All right, now cooperate. All right, so again, here's some more of that same scrapbook paper that I used over here. But I want to put it across the top with one of Norella's French words. Oh, thank you so much, Sam, for your donation. She has a whole collection of a sheet of French words. And I just thought it kind of went with the Amarillo Rose. It went with the ladies that she has used in some of the images you'll see a little bit later. So that'll go across there like that. And then at the bottom, this is one of the pockets that comes in the kit, and it was printed on copyweight paper. So what I did to make it stronger across the top is I just glued a scrap of book page to the backside, and then I stitched around the edges just for pretty. And then this is one of the layer elements, and I'll just glue that right into or onto this page. So even though I'm showing you how I make my pages, which is flat one at a time, for the most part, if you pre-plan before you build your book, you could put stitches on pages before you glue your or build your book. And then you can come back in and glue stuff on top if you like. All right, so I'm going to let that dry for a moment and flip this over to the other side. Again, I have another piece of scrapbook paper that I want to put down. So I'll just glue this. I cut papers that are 12 by 12 down to fit 8.5 by 11 journals, folded in half, 5.5 by 8.5. So sometimes I end up with these 1-inch strips, so I'm just trying to use them. You think you passed out? Come back, come back. All right, so now I've got one of these little tear-off sheets, and I always get this name wrong. And I think it's called 3 Leaves, L-E-A-V-E-S, or L-E-A-F. But if you put 3, spell out 3 and leaf, it should show up. I'm really liking this. I've got shaded lilac here, and I want to stamp over it. And I'm kind of rotating the stamp a little bit. And I'm stamping a little bit harder than I did in my sample, but I like the way it turned out. I thought that turned out really pretty. And we'll clean this stamp so I can put it away. When I'm done with oxides and on using my rubber stamps, I clean them. All right, so we got that piece. And then, oh yeah, this is a laser piece from the Garden Tea Party kit. By the way, I still have a few garden tea parties, so if you didn't get that kit, you still can. And I'm taking my Distress Walnut Stain, and I'm just pressing it to the chipboard. It's going to make it a little bit darker. I've got my blending brush, so I'm just kind of blending it down in. Okay. So what I want to do is glue this on here. So I want to make sure that I had it positioned where everything layered in. You like that laser piece? I'm working on some items for the Out to Sea kit. But every once in a while I see other images that I'm like, oh, I could turn that into a laser cut thing. So I'll be adding some more laser cut items to the shop. And then here's what I do. I just take this and I will dot it with a little bit of glue. Now, if you have that super fine art glitter glues with those little tips, sometimes I'll use the best glue ever, but honestly, Elaine's tacking glue works just fine. I don't mind if I get too much because it dries clear. It might have a little bit of a shine, but not really. And sometimes what I'll do is just kind of pat it, which kind of knocks back any big blobs of glue. If you have like a Xyron, you could run this through that. All right, then I'm going to lay that right here. Just press it. See, I still got glue on my finger. Clean my finger. And this is another one of Norella's elements, so I thought she would look kind of pretty down there. I'm going to put this right there. And then the number is also from kits of Norella's for the Amarillo Rose. I thought I'd put that right there. Now, I haven't put the card in here yet, but I've got everything else. So what I want to do is I've got some page tabs that I made. I have a punch, and then I just layered some fabric, and there's a little piece of lace. And then this is some of those thread pieces. I just kind of wound it around and then did an X. So now what I'll do is I'll put glue in here, and we're going to glue it on the edge of the paper. And then we're going to go to the sewing machine. So sewing lamb again. So I'm trying to find the somewhat center here. Try to get it on there. All right. And then let's do this one. I probably should have done this before I put the pocket on, but that's okay. All right, so I'm just getting that smoothed out and getting that ready to sew. So I'll stitch down these two pieces here. Here we go. I told you, lots of sewing in this journal. All right, so I didn't sew anything on the other side. I'm going to do this one. I should have sewn that on first before I put everything else on here. Oh, well, I'm glad you got fingerprinted, I guess. All right, so so now we need this page. So this time I took a piece of scrapbook paper and it measures 6 inches again by 12 inches. And I scored it because I was layering this rubber stamp image. So it's roughly 4 and almost 4.5 inches. That's 4.5 inches, and that is 3 inches. So this is a Beeline Designs rubber stamp, and actually Beverly colored this, and she had 2 different ones that she did and gave them to me to scan. So I scanned them into my computer, and then I started playing with the hue on my computer, and I was able to alter the same images. This may be a different color pattern, but I altered them by changing the hue. And so this is what I decided would be a cute cover for a faux insert journal. Here's from the Journal Quartet. I used a book page in the background, and the stamped image was put on the book page, then stitched, and then those were glued so you don't get stitches on this side. Yeah, I thought Beverly did a great job. And that's just it. With Beeline Designs or Stamps by Linda Israel, if you want to stamp them out, hand color them, whatever way you like to color them, scan them into your computer, then you can print them and use them in your artwork as many times as you like. You cannot sell the digital image, but you can sell finished product that has that colored image. So if I wanted to sell these little thingy boppers, I could, because she has that right that I could do this once and change the color just a little bit on my computer, and I can make a whole bunch of them. So the front piece is pretty thick, and then this is kind of flimsy-ish, but what I like about it is so thin. It's thinner than a piece of cardstock, really. And now I'll slide that in the pocket, and that completes another journal page. What do you think? Oh, I forgot to put this in here. I haven't added this stamp yet, but I did manage to get that made. I haven't even really used it. This was done on my computer. So I've got a new stamp. Let me see if I got a scrap of paper I can put it on. I don't know. Come on now. Get your act together, Linda. This is going to be called Train Check, and what I like about it is I hand designed it based off of a vintage train check, and it has the months that you could circle, and then it has the numbers for each day of the month. Issues that we're having with my laser right now, but I went ahead and made it to a stamp so I could just play with it. And so it says Train Check, issued by Chicago, Rock Island, and Pacific Railroad. Then you've got the months, and it'll have the numbers. And haven't added it to my shop just yet because I want to make sure we get a good image. And I did the Chicago, Rock Island, and Pacific Island because that was a real train that ran through Oklahoma. Can't get my words out today. All right. You know what I didn't do? No, I did it. Didn't I? There's that stencil. Why do I have this stencil out? I don't think I used it on anything else. Okay, this can go away. I think I need a drink. Not train wreck, train ticket. Oh my goodness. All aboard the train wreck. Toot toot. Oh my goodness. You like that? How'd that turn out? So here is, I did the same thing. It's just these images were different. I'm making 2 journals. Whether or not they get raffled off today, it's up to y'all. I may keep one of them myself. But it's the same. And here's that same butterfly image that's been altered again. I was having fun doing that. Okay. There's another page made. I think I need to make one more page. Thank you, Julie. I think I want some chocolate, though. Has everybody got some chocolate? It's time for a chocolate break. You want that stamp, Nadine? Okay, cool. I'll be adding it tomorrow or Wednesday to my shop. I've got some Godiva chocolate domes. Oh my gosh, it looks pornographic. Okay. I have all these journal pages. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I feel like I'm missing. Oh, that's right. There's 2. There's 8, 9. Okay, so I just need one more. This is going to be one fluffy journal. Chocolate is really good. All right. I'm going to fill the rest of this time because I got ahead and I made some stuff ahead of time. So I'm down to, let's do something with these scrapbook papers. Oh, I'm in your head. Yogurt drink, not a good mix with chocolate. Well, unless it's chocolate flavor. You want that stamp too? Okay, good. You think you're going to get to keep one? Margie says, I want to. That pornographic chocolate. What? All right, let's do this. This is from the Wild Stencils number 4. Yeah, I think that's right. I have some scrapbook paper. Again, I'm trying to use up my scrapbook paper. And I know it technically is supposed to go this way, but this worked better for what I wanted. So, I want to put my Wild Boar stencil in here. And what color do we want to use today? How about, I have Mermaid Lagoon somewhere. Did I misplace it again? Come on now. Oh, it was further down. Mermaid Lagoon. Maybe the pink. So let's get picked raspberry. And we may come in with some purple. We'll see what happens. All right. I'll start with the pink a little bit. And I'm just doing it rather lightly, so it's not going to be super dark. And apparently, I used a brown on this earlier. So I'm just going to wipe off my stencil because I was getting some brown and I didn't want brown. Is that what I want? Is that what I want? Let's see. That's kind of pretty. It's real subtle. I think I like that. Even with the brown that came through. Let's do it one more time, since I do have the items to make 2 journals. Oh, let's do the pink first. So we've done sewing. We've done stenciling. We've used some Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist, didn't we? Yeah, at the beginning. And then I'm going to go through and show you all the pages and put this journal together. Alright, let's put that over here. Let's grab the blue. Try not to move the stencil. See, if I wasn't in a big hurry, I would use some washi tape and hold it in place. But I think that turned out pretty good. I like it. You see that? I put my hand over it so it kind of doesn't glare out. All right. Pasta machine is great for, yeah, it is. Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, well, that you mean to store them or to put that here? And also, because I'm not really putting anything back here. Do we want to stitch on it? You know, we've been stitching on all the pages, so I think we should stitch. So what I want to do is stitch across here and then fold it closed and stitch around that outside edge. Let's do that. If that's pretty, you like it? Oh, but wait. I just found something that I forgot about. Let me see if this will work. I'm going to fold the page in half. Because I stamped the word bloom on a piece of muslin fabric. And so I think what I'll do is put a couple of drops of glue on it. And we'll stitch this into place. And then we'll stitch the pocket. How's that? That is fabric that I stamped. This was done with the sepia archival ink. And I did another one in black. So I'll show you how that looks side by side. So there's the black. And I think the black looks really good. I think the sepia looks really good. It depends if you want a little bit more of a vintage look to it. All right, so we're going to go over to the sewing machine. And I want to stitch around this piece. And then I'll stitch across here. And then we'll stitch on the outside edges. We're just going to be a-stitching. Yeah, we wouldn't let it to be left without stitching. It would be lonely. I think almost every page has some form of stitching on it. All right, so first I'm going to stitch around the word bloom, and then I'll stitch around the outside edge. I did record a tutorial today. If all goes well, I'll get that edited and shared with y'all. All right, I'm going to have to go this way because my page was too tall. So now I'm just going to rotate it. So the bloom looks pretty good, doesn't it? Oh yeah, the Calico. Norella's already gone, Margie. I'll mention to her she needs to do a cat one. I'm sure she's got one planned. She needs to do a dog one too. I know more people like cats, but I like my dog. Got my Yorkie. All right, so I stitched across. I could have done this before the video, but I stitched across there. So now I'm going to fold this close and stitch. Which works out pretty good since my stencil usually has a little bit of a border on it because I use 8.5 by 11 sheets of Mylar. So the stitches kind of fill that void. I know this is the most exciting thing you could ever see is someone stitching on paper for no reason. There's no purpose. It's just decorative. Like time I made an element, I was like, ooh, let's put some stitches on that. All right, so there's one. So let's make the next one. Black and white tuxie, you'll be okay? How to have a black and white. Try this differently. Trying to stitch it in place. I know she's got a black and white that she uses in her shabby kitten. All right, maybe I can. Shabby. I think it's shabby cat, shabby kittens. All right. That's been stitched around. Now we're going to stitch on this. We're just stitching away. Already it's time? Oh my goodness. Actually, you're a little early, Missy. But okay. If y'all haven't got in on the raffle, do so. All right, we're going to stitch this, and then we'll be done with the foundation. And we can start embellishing. Stitching away. I'm kind of glad I used all this scrapbook paper. I haven't counted how many sheets I used. Maybe I'll yell out scrapbook paper and you can tell me what number that was. I was having fun making the little folded writing. In fact, I think we might have time that I could do that again live so y'all can see what I do. All right, so there's that one. Oh, it didn't cut. My little cutter didn't cut. How dare you? All right, let's go back. All right, so we got those. I think we need a little bit more embellishments in it. And I think I need another piece of chocolate. That one was pretty good. All right, we're going to do the raffle. With every scrapbook page used, scraps and pieces are created. So it's a round circle of scrapbooking paper life, for sure. Because sometimes I don't want to cut up a piece of paper because I know I'm going to end up with a scrap. All right, we got to do the raffle. I'm just looking to see. Oh, I might use. I mean, I know I used it before, but maybe we'll use it again. Look at the little fussy cuts here. That chocolate's pretty good, y'all. Oh, I've got these butterflies. We can do those. All right. Well, I'm waiting on the boss fight to go by, and then we're going to do the raffle. I think we're getting there. We're getting some ideas. What do I have here? Ooh. I have butterfly and bloom. I'm just finding little pieces and bits that we can use. I have this guy. Okay, I've got 2 of these. I'll have to tell you the story. All right, we in a tiny rose by the word bloom. Oh, I do have some of those. Let me see. Oh, well, now I'm not going to find them because I thought, oh, I could use those. Dang it. Huh. I can't find. I have a whole sheet that I stamped. Actually, I printed, but now I don't see it. All right, let's do. She wanted a rose, but how about if we do a different flower? I think I can do something with this. All right, so I'm going to rubber stamp this. All right, let's do this. The winner of the mini journal is Nadine Wheeler. Congratulations, Nadine. You've won the little mini journal. All right, so let's do this. Reset. And all right, let's do that. So next, y'all are going to get some of my little rubber stamps. I happened to do extras one time, so I thought, well, why don't I give them away? So this says fabulous, and this one says choose joy. They're small rubber stamps. That's what I use on most of my pages when I show you stamping, so I thought I would show that. And I think I want to stamp this on some ivory. So y'all enter the raffle. Yeah, I can't find things. It just, it's getting ridiculous. So it's why I need to spend some time cleaning up. I'll finish a journal and then I just package it all up real quick off my desk and set it over to the side. And then I end up with a bunch of piles everywhere. Oh, thank you, Janet. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so this is the single rose that I stamped on a scrap of some cardstock. And let's grab, I've got a purple kind of color, so let's watercolor these a little bit. I started to color the leaves with that, so I don't want... All right, I got to find the green that I want. All right, so I did a green. I'm barely adding any color with my watercolor pencil because I want it to be rather faint when I go to color it with water. So now I have a little water brush. Got a towel here. You see how fast I can do these. Watercolor. All right, now I'll just clean my brush. Get my brush wet. See how easy this is coming together? I have a tendency to be too heavy-handed with markers, but I found I like this better as far as coloring images. Oh, the dream box. The dream box is basically, think of a fancy china hutch that when you close it all up, it looks like a little closet, nothing more. But when you open it up, it just expands and explodes like a transformer. They're really neat. I would need like however many would go down the wall all the way around. So I would need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. And they all couldn't be open at the same time. But, you know, now that I think about it, that might be what I need to do, because I would rather redo my studio and have different stations. I'm fussy cutting this if y'all haven't figured it out, for my crafting. And that crafts that I don't do right now because I really don't have a way to keep it set up all the time. So that if I want to work it, I just sit down and do it instead of having to drag out a bunch of boxes and clean off my desk that is my main desk. So I don't know, that would be something that would be really cool if I could set it up that I open this cubby and that's my gel printing cubby. That's everything gel print that I would need in that cubby. And I'm thinking something like that, but not this one up there. Let's put this up here. So I don't know. That's something. Yeah, I got you. It won't fit in your craft. Okay, I think I might be back. I'm waiting on Junkie Joe to load. I'm going to continue on like we are back. I probably won't see the chat yet. I'm trying to decide what I want to put behind. I had this purple paper I made. Okay, looks like we're back. All right, there I am. Let me start the giveaway again. All right. Y'all can get back in on the raffle. I took a photograph of the screen before I turned off my equipment to figure out why it was frozen. So these people have donated. We got Sam, Janice, Heather, Laura, Nadine, the Mrs. Edmondson, Rhonda, Robin, Gigi, Margie, and Lori have all donated so far. All right. I'm trying to decide if what I want to do is basically just kind of make a little backdrop for this guy. Let's see if this is big enough right here. Okay, let's do that. I think I can glue this. And then I'll come out further to kind of give it a little silhouette behind it. Oh, I went too close. And I think I can get away with doing it like that. That was my plan. So I thought maybe if I split that, so the purple is going behind and the flower is staying to the front. And I got to make sure that I didn't just glue my pocket shut. But I kind of like that. All right, let's do that again. All right, so I already went around the edge with some distress ink. I didn't do that center very good. And I'm just going to glue it in the corner here and then fussy cut it out. So it'll get that look. I think that's what it needed. So this time I'm not going to go so far away from the edge. I left that open. Fussy cut it out. And I didn't add the distress inks to it like I was going to. All right, let's kind of helps a little bit. A piece of thread here. I need more ink. Okay. And then this one, make sure I don't let my go shut. It's going to go right here. Oh, I let that get too much glue. All right. So glue on there. Make sure that I don't do it too far over, that it interferes with the opening of the page, closing of the page. How's that? There's you a bloom next to the word bloom. All right, so now let's add some elements up here. I think we need I'm going to do the Bella Rose. I know I've been using the Henna Rose like crazy. So, no, I do want to change this. I don't want the Bella Rose. I want to rock. Something like that. All right, so I've got the Henna Rose. And I'm getting my little scrappy of paper. So I'm just adding a little touch in the corner. I don't know. I like that layered effect. Okay. So this guy's going to go up here. But I'm thinking maybe I'll swap it and put the butterfly over here and the like that. I have a number I can use. Yeah, let's do that. You like it like that? Thank you, Robin. You put things away, I just have too much for your space. I understand that. Yeah, see, I have, if y'all haven't seen my video of my room in the past, go take a look. But I have floor to ceiling in my room. Almost every square inch. I have not put very much from the ceiling. I have one thingy hanging from the ceiling that I want to take down because I don't like it. It didn't work the way I thought it would when I put it up. But I have stuff all the way around my room. And if you get bookcases, get quality. Don't buy cheapy because that's all you could afford. You might as well do without a bookcase than get a super cheap one. Trust me. I made a couple of bookshelves in here myself. They're kind of wonky, but I made them. Okay, I like that. I want to overlap it just a little. All right, I'm going to set this up here for a moment. Let's do this one. There it is. I lost my butterfly. Don't fly away, butterfly. And this one will go over here. Put that right there. Talking to myself here, no big deal. If you move the wrong way in my craft space, you would die. That is exactly right. Oh dear. Not exactly. I mean, yes, you have to be careful coming around, but for the most part, what I have is sturdy. So if you go to fall, except for this back here, I bumped it the other day and a bunch of my little knicky-knacks and stamps fell off. And I was like, oh no! All right, I like that. And I have a mason jar. I think maybe the mason jar would look good in the pockets. And then I have, again, some of these images from Norella that didn't get backed on cardstock. So let's do those real fast. Oh, and I have a couple little tags. So maybe we'll put some fabric on those. So let's find something for those. How wide are they? I could do scrapbook paper again. That's 4 inches. So I'm trying to use up all my scrapbooks paper. Okay? So if I get just one page, I should be able to cut it in half. Oh, come on. Ooh, too far. How about that? Let's do a test run. How would that look on there? What we could do is we could back it. Is this 6 inches tall? It's exactly 6 inches tall. Dang, I would need 2 pieces of paper. All right, so if I know I have 2. I think I know what I want to do. Trying to get this out of here. Okay, 1. I'm going to cut this, but we're going to put another layer in between. I'm trying to get this out without ripping it. Sometimes fingernails come in handy. There we go. Okay. If you could move things, you would work much better. I kind of agree with that statement from my room. All right, so here's what I want to do. I want to make a little writing journal in a sense, but with basically a small amount of paper. So if this is 6 inches tall, and I want to have a little bit of a border around it, if I did it at 7 inches tall, I could actually make this like a 5 by 7, because I'm going to put another layer in between these two. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, I had to think about it. Now, granted, that did create these 2 pieces, but maybe we can find something else to use that for later. So now what I want to do is rotate this around, and I believe I want to stay at 5 inches. Yeah, I think that's right. So I'm going to score at the 5-inch mark here. Okay. And I've got 2 pieces of paper, so I probably should just do 1. Then I'm going to slide this over to the 10-inch mark and score that. Okay. I could cut it off, but I'm going to leave it. So 5, and then 10. Okay. So now I'll find my fold marks. I just wanted to show different ways of adding some more writing space if you want. I'm not getting it lined up right. There we go. And use some scrapbook paper. All right, so I've got these 2 pieces. What I could do even is put it to where it's attached to the flap, and then you open it all the way up. Let's do that. Okay, so it's kind of blending in our background, right? It's like, well, Linda, you could have done better there. But what if we get a book page and paint it? Let's see if this is going to be big enough. I'm folding it in half. And if I put this on here, yeah, see, I can make a border out of that. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this piece. I'll go ahead and cut them just so that I have the right size. And then it's done. I don't have to wait for the paper to dry too long. So let's go right about there. All right, so we've got 7 inches tall. So if I do 6 and a half-ish, a little bit over, and then I need to cut this in half. That's why I like using bigger book pages, because I can cut them up sometimes 2 at a time. There we go. I'm not saving every piece, just some. All right, so let's put it in the spray box. I want this outside edge to be bright and pink. So what I'm going to do is I've got some Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist. And this one is Wild Pink. So one of those brighter pinks. What's another one? The Black Cherry is really dark purple. If you did, oh, what is it? Party Pink, maybe? I like painting over the edge like this because it dries usually pretty quick. And I'm not using more product than necessary. I do have a string that's bugging me. Thank you, Robin, for your donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so we're going to do it this way. And then we'll do this one. Time is it? Okay, 5:30. So yeah, we're gonna finish these journal cards, and then we'll get all the pages out. I think this is right. Does that cover the whole thing? Maybe a little bit right here. Go crazy! All right, I'll dry it real fast. You like that pink? Yeah, this one is Wild Pink from the Wild and Free kit. I'm trying to use up my Tattered Angels too. I end up with all these kit colors. I'm like, I gotta use them, especially the ones I'm sold out of. Okay. All right, so let's add some distress inks to that. See how this is going to come together now? It'll go on the front, and then this will go on top of it. We'll have some stitches. Got to be in it to win it. All right, so let's go around the edges of this piece. I'm going to stack them together so that they're a little bit sturdier. If you ever are trying to do a very fragile piece of paper and you want the edge to be distressed the way that I'm doing it, put a strong piece of paper behind it, like a piece of cardstock or even your ruler. It depends on how big your piece of paper is, if you can get your fingers up there to hold your ruler. I find just grabbing a second piece of paper, sometimes it has to be double the thickness of the paper that I'm on top with, but makes it a little bit easier and I don't have to worry about it ripping. Okay, got those. We're going to go to the sewing machine here in just a moment. Put those up there. I want to glue these in the centers. Okay. Those of you that have donated, thank you so very much for your donation. Remember to go over to my website at lindaisrael.com if you haven't already done so and create a user account and then send me a message via the contact me form on my website that says, hey, I'm so-and-so on YouTube and I donated. And what I will do is get you added to the YouTube donator membership on my website. And being a member gives you 5% off all of your orders. And that can be stacked, meaning if you are also in the Stencil Club, that gives you 20% off of stencils. Well, if you have both the Stencil Club and YouTube Donator, you get 25% off my stencils. Does that make sense? So, all right, so now what we're going to do is go to sewing machine, and I want to stitch around this outside edge all the way around, and that will help give us a little decorative border. Okay. All right, let's go sewing lamb. Hopefully we won't run out of thread. I think I got plenty of bobbin thread. And again, you don't have to stitch. If you like that stitch look, you could rubber stamp with the shabby stitches. You could glue some trim. You could draw a bow stitch. You can hand stitch. I like sewing with my sewing machine. Stamping would be faster, but I like the look of this in the feel because it's textile. You can feel those stitches on the page. All right, so there's one. And let's do this one. And I like the black stitches because I just think it sets it off, adds a little bit more to it. So now I've got to decide which way I want my flappy flap to go. My flippy floppy flappy flap. So there's my junk. I used a piece of book page. I like using the book pages with Tattered Angels because if I don't have a particular color of paper, I can make it, you know, and then I have that color. So I don't have to own every shade of pink in my stash. I can make it with a little bit of some mixed media products. Okay, so do we want this to go that way, or do we want this to go that way and this to go that way? I think that's what I want. Is like that. All right, so I don't think we've applied distress inks to this guy, so let's do that real fast. Go around the edges. That's why I like the walnut stain, because it's so much darker than the vintage photo. I don't have to work as hard for as long. I do need to re-ink a lot because I use a lot of distress ink. So if you buy a distress pad, make sure you order the ink too. You're going to scribble in your journal? Well, good. Do it. Get some scribbling out. I've been writing in a spiral bound journal, and I've been toying with the idea of getting an art journal out again, because I haven't done that in a long time, and do some art journaling. So if I feel like it Thursday, let's do something mixed media. How's that sound? Be on the lookout. I'll get it scheduled, and I'll send out the notifications on Facebook, and you should see it here on YouTube for Thursday, which would be March the 31st, if I'm not mistaken. And I also have my technique, what is that? Throwback Thursday tutorials. Have y'all been watching for those emails? If you haven't been getting my newsletter, number one, check your spam for an email from me, Linda Israel. Just type Linda Israel. And then secondly, what you can do is you can go over to my website. I think I'm going to make a pencil mark here. And you can sign up for my MailChimp newsletter. When you sign up, it should send you a message. Thank you for signing up on my website. So check your spam, because I'm a small internet account, if you will. They have a tendency not to give me top billing, if you will, in email. All right. So I'm just gluing these two together. That's kind of pretty, isn't it? Maybe we need a little sentiment to go on here. All right, let me get my pencil again. All right, I want this to go right about there. Ah, come on. Right about there. So we'll just make a line. Okay. So just make a good amount of glue on here. So I made 2 fabric covers, and one of them I put together the wrong way. So I'm going to show you a different way of putting a journal together today. Maybe you're a lefty instead of a righty. All right, I like that. I think we need a sentiment on here or something, don't you? So how about, oh, I've got love yourself, or what else do I have? I have the word journal. Let's do the word journal. I saw a bigger piece. Is it big enough? Are you gonna be big enough? This one is big enough, I think. Yes, okay. Let's stamp the word journal. Try to get it straight. And maybe we can find a little piece of fabric. All right, so I'm going to try to stamp this straight. stamping it. No, petting books. Petting books. I think I need to edit this a little better up here, but we'll work with it. Okay. Scissors. I need my scissors. Only my scissors will do. Okay. No, I am not silly. I don't know what you would ever get that idea. All right, so I had a little boo-boo with my stamp that I need to edit and trim a little better so that I don't get this line. So we're going to cover that up. I did this on another thing and it worked out really good. So this is tiny berry branch. Tiny berry branch. It's little bitty. It's like not even an inch. And what I'm going to do is take this and stamp it right off the top there. And it covers up where my stamp kind of got the edge. How's that? I think I'm going to go ahead though and just add a little bit more. I like it. Okay, do this one. Let's go this way. Okay. See, another way to change things up. All right, so now we need a piece of fabric that we can put that on top of, don't you think? I have some Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist dyed fabric in a pale pink. I'm thinking maybe, I've got a blue here. I think that might stand out better. Yeah, I like the blue. All right, we're going with the blue. The blue has been chosen, whether you like it or not. All right, so let's take this. And I'm going to do it again. All right, so I'm going to glue these together. And I think we're going to go to the sewing machine again. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue right down the middle just to help hold it to the fabric. Okay, I'll do that again. Actually, I put more on that one than I meant to. And I think I need a strip of some book page. And I have two, so let's see if this is narrow enough. Almost. So if I do that, trim it. Okay. Sometimes sewing just on fabric on your back with paper can be difficult on your sewing machine. It slips and slides. I don't know. I have issues with it bunching up in my machine sometimes, or it just wouldn't go through. And I found that if I go ahead and put a piece of paper on the back and then sew, it makes it a little bit easier if I'm just sewing elements. So if you're mass producing, because this is something you could definitely do for a day, is get out all your fibers, stamp pieces of paper, and then make little layers like this and stitch around them, and they're ready to go to put in your journals. And that's what I need to spend some time doing. All right. Yeah, is that cover? Okay, I thought the blue, it worked out pretty good there. All right, let's go to the sewing cam. You need a new keyboard? Yours is crooked? Huh. Yeah, you can poke a hole with the crocodile. There's another one I bought a jewelry punch that will punch a hole through the bottle caps. I can't get my word out. I've done it before. Be fun to make some journal charms with them. This works so much better when you have paper on the back. All right, I'm almost done with this page. We're going to get the other books pages and journal pages that I made out. And we will put this journal together. There we go. All right. I didn't move my camera up there. Okay. I think that looks good. So now I'll just use the paper and glue that. So these are things that you could sit down and do a whole bunch of ahead of time in different colors that you know you like to use. I mean, it's in your stash. Why when you would use it, I would believe. And again, I dyed this fabric myself with Tattered Angels. So you can dye your own paper, you can dye your own fabrics to go with and have the coordinated pieces that you need. Otherwise, you'd have to buy a piece of fabric that color. You'd have to buy a piece of paper that color. But now we've got this. They can go in there. And this one can go in here. And I didn't put fabric on these, so let's do that. I'll punch them. They're the same size. I think this is from the pocket, the layered pocket page. All right. So we need a piece of fabric. So let's see what I've got in here. I've got some of this pink. Let's do that pink. So I need a little piece to go in here. We're going to sew one more time. I know, I said I was done, but I keep finding stuff. Okay, we got one. And then we'll do two. Lots of sewing in this journal. All right, we're going to stitch right across the tops here. All right. You're welcome, Lori. Tigers are your favorite animals? I like lions. Because lion moms are pretty bad, you know. They take care of everything. All right, there we go. Maine. All right, thank you, Connie. Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Margie. Margie donated a bunch. Oh, my goodness. All right, so I think I want to put that there. I don't know that we need anything on this side. I think it's okay with the paper the way it is. We could add a sentiment, but I think we're good. So I'm going to clean up. I was going to show you these. I bought this package of table place cards. So the idea is that you open it. I can't get one open. And it'd be like that and have somebody's name on there. for 90 cents. So I thought I made one thing, but I didn't have time to make more. All right, I'm trying to clean up my desk a little bit so I can get out the other pages. I don't need that. This goes in there. That goes over there. Clean up the mess so there's no distractions. So there's some more of that thin white paper that I hadn't mounted on anything yet. I think I'm going to do a mixed journal on Apothecary and Amarillo Rose next week because I have some stuff already cut and I can mix it together. All right, so we have a scrapbook paper that has pockets. We have this book page of music with pockets and whatnot. And then, let me get over here. This was our scrappy page that we made that has pockets. And this is a page that I made prior to the live. It's a book page that was avocado dyed. And I had a piece of fabric and this saying, and I made a pocket. Again, it's backed with a piece of paper. And then I made this pink to go around this Calico Collage image. This was some scrapbook paper. So there's scrapbook paper number 1. This was another one of my dyed papers that I dyed when I had blackberries. So that was a page that I made. This is some of Norella's images. In the background, you'll see the Bella Rose Large. This is the single rose, another one of Norella's images there. This is the page pocket belly band that Norella has a kit for. I think it's a separate kit. A lot of times it's included in her big journal kits. You have this backer piece that's printed all the way to the bottom. Then you have this pocket piece that's printed and this pocket piece that's printed, and then they layer up. And then she has a bunch of ephemera that you can put in the pockets. And I had another card that was text weight, so I backed it onto a piece of pink and I stamped on a piece of fabric, stitched around another piece of fabric, and then glued this to, or sewed it to the topper, and then I sewed around the outside when I attached it to a cardstock and then added the word whimsical. This is also in the kit. All right, now cooperate. And then I'm not going to open this up, but this is basically a whole line of tickets. I think I have some already. This is a bigger one. And I just accordion folded the tickets, so I thought those would be kind of cute in that pocket. Here's a scrapbook paper, another 2. That's 2. that I've used a different pattern of, and I've made something else, and this was a piece left over. Okay. All right, so we got these. Then I had some wallpaper. This was a sample book that was given to me by my neighbor when she moved away. And I cut it down because I only had so much. I had enough to make 2 pages this size. And I think they are roughly 4 inches by 8.5 inches. Or so 8 by 8.5 inches. And I put some of my dyed fabric on the edge. On the other side is some of my avocado dyed paper. I used the Wild 4 stencil with Distress Ink Walnut Stain. I stamped the feather from the bird cube again. And then these images are from Norella's kit. And I used a piece of music in the background. I made this to go with the coffee dyed paper that I stamped from the birdhouse cube. I think that's right. And the bird nest cube. There are many ways to build a nest. And then this has a butterfly with brave wings, she flies. These are from Norella's kit, and I want these to go together because I like that way that looks layered wise. Here is another scrapbook paper. This time I decided to make it a trifold that was a little bit different. I used one of those tear off notepads and glued that down with and added some washi tape just for some difference in variety in the journal with brave wings she flies because of the butterflies. And this was a 12 by 12 piece of scrapbook paper that I ended up folding And then I took some other scrapbook paper. This is where my boo-boo came in earlier that I messed up. And then this is another little notepad that I tore off the edges so it would fit. This is my label stamp. There's some fabric up here. So this will flip up. And then this flips over and it's got 3 pockets. And I stamped in the background and used the small rose stencil with Distress Oxide Mermaid Lagoon. And then these were some just pieces of scrapbook paper that I thought, well, that's just kind of pretty to put them in there. You can write on the back side or you can use it for something else. And then one of Norella's mason jars. And I did paper, the Norella's image, and rubber fabric there. And then this, basically, when you have a page, it would go here, and then you would have this little flip out. Okay? That's why I was showing all that. And then where did this go? Did I fall out of something? Uh-oh. Now I gotta find what I did with it. Well, I'll find it, I'm sure. Oh yeah, and then it had a belly band on the back. And I did another one of these layers. And this one I used the spiraling vine rubber stamp on the inside. So this was scrapbook paper. This was Norella's image. This was using the Lace Duo rubber stamp over a book page, one of Norella's images, and this was scrapbook paper. And I think this one I made shorter. Yeah, it's 5.5 inches tall. And it went under this belly band. All right, so let's put this right here. I'm trying to figure out where that came out of. I'm sure I'll find it. Okay. So this is another one of Norella's pages, but this time I took the stamp, The Most Important Things in Life Aren't Things, and stamped it on blackberry dyed paper. And then it's layered onto a book page that was colored with the blueprint sketch Distress Oxide. And this is my library card rubber stamp over one of Norella's digital images, and I stamped Live Your Best Life. So there is journaling there. I added some fabric ruffles down the side over here. You like it, Gigi? Thank you. Thank you so much. You like that, Sam? Thank you. Here was some scrapbook paper again, one of Norella's French words. And I did stitch all the way around all of the elements here. This was some scrap that I had left over of my ledger paper that's a digital download. And then that little 5, 6, 7 was the scrap that I cut off of a piece of fabric. And I thought, well, that just looks kind of cute if I did it like that. One of Norella's images here. And then this is backed with one of Norella's journal pages in the kit, and I use a fabric and rubber stamp paper combo there. All right, so I got 2 of those. This is the next one that I have that's a layered, again, another scrap. But this time I made pockets, and these hold some of Norella's big journal cards. So there's pockets here and over here. And then on this side, I stamped. So this is the Eiffel Tower stamped on a book page. And then I layered it over Norella's page, stamped over it with the Paris cancellation. And then this is a butterfly that's been fussy cut and colored and put on top. This is my flower bouquet and Collect Beautiful Moments. So I'm trying to decide where I want to put all these pages because I want them to come together a certain way. Oh, and when I was dyeing the avocado, you had to strain the avocado. So I used 2 coffee filters and saved them. I thought these would look kind of interesting. In fact, I think they should go with this page. I think that looks kind of cool. So I'm just going to go ahead and put those together like that. Okay. And I have a couple of stationery papers, so maybe they should go here because it kind of contrasts, gives some interest, and makes this look a little bit more like a junk journal because it's just a bunch of stuff we put together. I can't figure out where this insert goes. All right, so here's another of Norella's that I went around some of the edges, images. There is a tuck spot here. I did not make a journal card to go in there, but there is a tuck spot. And again, we have a pocket. Now, this is the tutorial that's coming up, okay? All right. Thank you, Janice. So this is a one-page folio using 12 by 12 paper, and I had a little scrap that was left over that I ended up using in the journal of this piece right here. So this comes out, this opens up, and this opens up this way, and you have a little folio that has a few things. This is an envelope. I didn't put any cards in that one. I had a lot of other stuff that I was doing, and then I stamped in the background, and then this is a card on top of an index card, and then I used an artist trading card that I rubber stamped and stitched on. That fits here. And then this was a strip of paper that I cut out of my blackberry dyed paper, and I added a little piece of fabric, and it just fit right there. So to close it up, you fold it over in the mason jar that I just misplaced. There it is. The mason jar goes here in the pocket, if you fold it correctly, to keep it shut. Is that kind of cool? And that went in here. I spent a lot of time on this journal, y'all. And that was some more scrapbook paper. Has anybody kept count how many times I've said I've used some scrapbook paper? All right, now this was working fine. So on this side, I had some of those images that were printed on textbook paper so that it's not sticking out too much, and I didn't want it to be a tuck spot, and I just added those to the page. And then over here, I have another scrapbook paper that I just folded up just for writing space. Okay, so we got two of those. I'm trying to decide what I want for the dead center of the journal. Maybe that one. I don't know. I kind of like that. Or I could do it this way if that was the center of the journal. Which one? Oh, maybe I should do this one in the center. Oh my goodness. I think I'm going to do this one in the center. Okay. That's going to be the center. That's going to go here. I got to figure out where this goes. Somewhere. And then here's my inner cover. So this is my inner cardstock cover that I made. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So I think I want this one first. Then we have that. And these two pages. I'm trying to separate the pages that have fabric on them from the ones that don't have fabric on them. It's like, figuring this all out. Okay, that's a digital there. So if we put this here. Okay, that looks kind of pretty. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I thought I had another page here. Oh, there it is, the coffee dye paper. I forget to count that as 2. All right, so we're going to start with this. Most important things in life are things. And then we'll put this page with the scrapbooky. And then this page that has ruffles on it. Those are really close together. All right, I'm going to change this. And let's go this way. Yeah. All right, so we'll put the short page in here. You can change your mind as you're putting it together. I talk to myself all the time, like, nope, I don't like this one. Oh my goodness, this is going to be one fluffy journal. This one has a lot of removable writing space. Oh, I like this so far. Okay. We're getting closer to the end. This is one chunky monkey. Oh my goodness. There we go. All right, let me get my binder clips so I can clip this together, because it's gonna move around like crazy. All right, so I'm gonna set that aside for a moment. All right, now that I know how this is gonna look, we can just start grabbing these, and we will bind one of the journals to a cover. And do the flip through. You like them big? I like them chunky. Well, this one is chunky. For sure. I added all that lace and sewing, and it just adds a little bit to it. So, whoop, don't lose the coffee filter. All right, let's get straight. Okay. Getting all my clippies out. I'm pretty sure that when I put it together, I got the pages that were shorter centered. Use your chin when you try to open things. I don't know why I did that. All right. Get my sewing needle out. I've got my wax linen thread. 1, 2, 3. Removable writing space, yeah? Oh, lots of pockets. Pockets, pockets, pockets. Pockets everywhere. Pockets here, pockets there, pockets everywhere. You like the sound? The crinkly sound of the papers. You're talking about the brown wrapping paper that comes from Amazon. All right, so I've got a 3-hole punch template here. So I really want to make sure that my pages are nested down into the cells here. This is going to be one chunky monkey. So now I've got my Tim Holtz craft pick. And I've got a piece of fun foam below so that it will not punch a hole in my, what is this called? My desk. And I just realized I didn't get the fabric. So we'll do this again in just a moment. Okay. So one journal cover, I sewed the tie on incorrectly. And the other one, I did right. So I'm going to show you the right one first, the correct way, and then I'll show you the second one. So this is my cover, and what I did was I did some patchwork sewing. I printed on cotton fabric that was backed with wax paper. It was ironed together on my inkjet printer, some of the images from the kit. So what I need to do here is line this up with my cover and then recapture with my clippies the fabric. So recapture the fabric with the clippies. All right, so I shouldn't really have to poke a hole through the fabric the first time, but I will need to poke a hole here in a second because I don't have one as a guide. So I like to poke my awl through, and then I'll line up my needle and go back on the other side. Then let's not have a tangled mess. If you would just cut the thread a little shorter, Linda, you wouldn't have this problem. But I like doing it this way. All right. Going back to the outside. See, and I got it tangled. Don't be getting tangled on me. Don't be getting tangled on me. All right, poke the hole. Follow the hole with the needle. Pop goes the weasel. All right. Close your craft pick the correct way. Don't stab it through the palm of your hand. All right. And we're going to feed this through this upper thread. I had a huge remnant of some taffeta, so that's what I lined the inside of this journal cover with. I was like, I've had this forever. I'm never going to use it to make a garment, so, or home decor. I'm going to use it in my journal. So that's what the fabric looks like. All right, so I'm going to use this, and you fold this over, and then this wraps around. And what I did with the wrap is I had some avocado dyed fabric, which didn't turn out pink. It's kind of weird. And I took a strip of fabric that I use in the journal, around the journal cover somewhere. There's a piece right there. And so, oh, I forgot to stitch this one. Dang it. Okay, I'm gonna have to stitch this. All right. Depending on when we get done, if you want the one that's stitched, unstitched, I'll stitch it. Okay. So this time I messed up, and the tie is on the wrong side because my page is directional because of the apothecary. I didn't want this upside down. So here's what we're going to do. And see, this one I stitched down the middle like I was supposed to. Oh, it's called a craft pick, Amy. And Robin will share the link. It's a craft pick by Tim Holtz, Tonic Studio. So what I'm going to do is line this up. Make sure it's right side up. I'm looking. Okay, are my pages right side up? Yep. With the cover, but the tie is going to be different this time. Okay, trying to get it all lined up. I need another hand. Lord help me, please. I'm not an octopus. I am only human. All right. I want to go ahead and put it together, even though we're probably only donating one journal today. I don't know. I haven't looked. Yeah, I have different tutorials on the fabric covers. And I'll be doing one. I'm working on some others, but basically you can watch my wallpaper journal cover. Wallpaper and fabric, I think it's called, something like that. And I've got a couple other that were fabric. But yeah, I'll do another one. I've been trying to decide what I wanted for the theme to record one. All right, so we're going to come through here. And I got to poke the awl through the front. And then come around through the hole to the other side. How did I miss it? Okay, let's do this again. I guess I'm going blind. Well, that's just weird. I start to go through. Okay, one more time here. There we go. Jiminy Christmas. Alrighty, we're going to go back through the center hole to the outside. Oh man, the needle came out, unthreaded. Oh my gosh. Holy cow, thank you everybody. That's a lot, thank you. Alright, let's make sure that we are lined up. I just noticed something that happened, and so before I go any further, I'm going to get some washi tape here. My music page seems to be fragile, so I'm going to tape that paper a little bit. Okay. I may have to tape the other side too, so. Oh, what did I do? Oh, I went back through the center and I didn't mean to. That's not what I wanted. I want it to go under here. There we go. See, it just shows how much junk it is. You had to put washi tape to keep it from falling apart. I may have to put some more on there. Alright, let's undo these. Let's put them back in my tool bag. Alright, so I need to repair this page. So what I'm going to do is washi tape it down to this other page. Actually, I'm going to use a book page instead. I know I had some that were sturdier. Here we go. That'll be stronger than the washi tape. I could put the washi tape on top of it. So I'm going to cut some 1-inch strips. But I think I'm just going to glue it in place. So I'll cut this part off. And I know it needs to go from here to here. So I'm just going to trim it. I'm going to take this piece and fold it lengthwise. Okay, and then let's grab some Distress inks really fast. I know I'm going over now. I didn't mean to. I talk too much. Alright, so then we're going to glue this down. So I'm just going to make sure I move that over. And I want to glue it down the center here. Now what I could also do is take the journal apart and then go back in and enforce this piece of paper. It's what happens sometimes when you use an old book page. So that should repair that back. And then I'm going to do the same to this side. Just cut it. Make this the same length. Fold it. And go over the edge with some distress inks. We're still here, Tanya. I'm fiddling around. I had a book page that tore after I bound the journal. So I've cut some book page and I've folded it lengthwise. It is 1 inch wide of some book page, and I'm using it as if it was faux washi tape. Oh, thank you so much for your donation. So just kind of line that up. I could kind of tear it here away from the, there. All right, so this one, when you wrap this journal closed, oh my gosh, what a monster. You put this in here, then you close this way, and then it gets wrapped around. Okay, so we're going to do a flip through of the journals real fast. Y'all get in the raffle to win these rubber stamps, Fabulous and Choose Joy. Thank you, Janet. Hey, Janet, if you want to do a workshop where we just make the journal cover, let me know, and I'll ask Laura and Darla if they want to do a fabric cover tutorial weekend on a Sunday. We'll do something. How's that sound? You claim the egg on the cover. All right, so this one I've got to stitch down this area here. I forgot to do that. All right, the winner of the rubber stamps is Tanya Chan. Congratulations, Tanya. You won the rubber stamps. All right, so now we're going to do a file, open. Come on, computer, open. Amarillo Rose. All right, copy that. Yeah, you're welcome. You're very welcome. All right, let's reset this. Go like that. Go like this. Open giveaway. All right, so people who have donated, because I took a picture earlier, was, let's see, Lori donated, Margie donated, Gigi, Robin Finnessy, Rhonda Bennett, the Mrs. Edmondson, Nadine Wheeler, Laura Johnson, Heather Blood, Janice Brammer, Sam Spade, Margie, again, she donated $60 the second time. The first time she donated $30, so she donated $90. Robin donated $5. Again, Connie donated, Sandra, and Tanya. So thank you so much for your donations. Only those of you who have donated are eligible to win the journal today. Hey, but remember, this is a membership to my website so that you can go over there and get some free digital downloads as well as a discount on items in my shop. Okay, so here's the first journal that has the wrong way wrap, but I think it works. Journal cover. I could have added something else on top of here. Maybe that's something you may want to do, is add something else decorative on here. This is, the covers are the same. It is fluffy. Margie is an angel, I agree. It is one fluffy, chunky journal, and I have 10 journal pages in it, but most of the pages have some kind of pocket. So there's quite a few tuck spots and pockets in this journal. All right, so the cover. Oh, thank you, Amy. Thank you so much. Uh-oh. Get in now. You can do it now, Jennifer. Go now. Thank you, everybody. So the cover I printed on linen cardstock with my inkjet printer, and I put some fabric down the side. And then I printed one of the other pages on the inside. And so here's the page I described to you earlier, which was me going in and sewing and adding a pocket on top and some fabric down the edge. I probably could have gotten away with putting a different page here since this is fabric on the first page. I don't know. This is some, what do you call that? Stationery. And then we have a little booklet that we made so you can have lots of writing space. And I use scrapbook paper. Here's another scrapbook paper. So this time it has a little flip up. And then this flips out. And then we've got this journal page here. There is a pocket here. And then in the pocket, I have a tutorial that's coming, is this little folio that has lots of goodies in it. And I wrinkled it. Don't be wrinkling. You do have to kind of watch it a little bit when you go in, but I like it. One of Norella's papers here, and I collaged over it. This was a avocado dyed paper. This was blackberry dyed paper, and then rubber stamp. Over here is one of, oh, that's where it went. Norella's belly band, and then I just took some scrapbook paper and basically made it 6 inches by 4 inches and folded it. And that fits right here. Thank you so much, Gigi, for your donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I thought it'd go away, but I guess not. And then I put some tags in Norella's images. And then I made a journal card that says whimsical. This is stamped fabric, and then a stamp on top of some paper and then fabric. And then this little pocket layered element is one that Norella makes. And I did some little tickets. Here's my romantic Flourish stencil in the background. Did some rubber stamping. And then this page has some more of this fabric that's stamped on. And we showed you how to make this page today. Wallpaper. This is fabric that I dyed with Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist. This is more avocado dyed paper, coffee dyed paper, rubber stamping on top. This is a coffee filter that got dyed. And then we have pocket here. I used lace on top. A lot went into these journals today. So we pasted a piece of paper on top so that our journal wouldn't fall apart too much. And I made another little journal flip out and did some rubber stamping with butterflies. So you have more writing space that can be removed. This is going to be a new rubber stamp. It's a train check. They'll be added to my website. And this has a pocket that I used one of these table tents, cut it in half, and then added a butterfly and some paper, book page, and Be the Light. So it's a tiny little card that fits right here. I used page tab here. This is a large belly band that has another one of these scrapbook papers where I put the paper over the flap. Use the lavender stamp set, and then this is some of the bird cube. So that goes back here. Lots of layers here. We'll leave that dangle down. This is some chipboard that I put inside, rubber stamped. Another one of Norella's pages that I sewed around the edges, made a little pocket. And there's a pocket here with another one of Norella's cards. You like the butterfly flip out? Thanks. That's a rubber stamp on the front, Tanya. That was a rubber stamp. this here, that's a rubber stamp that was colored, and I added layers to it. Coffee dye paper. This is avocado dye paper, more of the Tattered Angels dyed paper. Norella's Images. This is the Romantic Flourish stencil, scrapbook paper. The other side here, this is a scrapbook piece of paper, fabric and rubber stamping. Another pocket here. This is just a fold out. It doesn't have anything in it. I was just trying to fill the pockets and use up some scrapbook paper. This is that shorter page that comes on this side. It's flipped out on the other. And this is lace on top of dyed fabric. And this flips over. And then here's another little folio that I made, or trifold. This one is stamped with the spiraling vines on the inside. Fits under the belly band. Another giant mason jar, a little tag. This is fabric, and then I stamped on a piece of cardstock and then backed it with a page that I had sprayed with Tattered Angels, so it comes up, but you have the flower, the bloom. Scrapbook paper, the backside, that's the stationery. And we're getting close to the end. And there's the back. And so, this one I can stamp on. So let me get my rubber stamp and stamp it right here. Oh, I did it upside down. Okay, we're going to fix that. I can't believe that. I was looking at it. Okay, I'm going to do it this way. There we go. I can't believe it. But I'm going to fix it. And this is 3/28 of 22. That's what I can do with all these scraps I had left over. Maybe that's what I should do, is stamp a bunch of these little labels and get them ready so I can just paste them into journals. Lots of sewing, yes. Thank you. I love the mason jars. They're fun. Yeah, there's a lot of work done in this. I did a lot of work, y'all. You're getting a bargain if you win this today. I'm just saying. All right. So then you close this side, and then you close this side and wrap it around. Okay. So this journal is the same. It's just the cover wraps correctly, but you're going to see the same stuff throughout with the little flip outs and whatnots. Okay. The only difference is the way the cover was put together, and a couple of images like those might be a little different. All right. So here's what we're going to do is, when you win, the first person gets to pick, do you want the right way cover or the wrong way cover? Do you want the wrap on the outside or the inside? Because that's basically what this did, was put that wrap on the inside. Okay. The mason jars are in the ephemera kit, I think. Janice, I printed every single one of her Amarillo Rose kits. So I don't know if it's a jar kit all by itself or if it's with another journal card, okay? Thank you, Janet. Thank you so very much. All right, so I'm going to pick the first winner. You ready? We've delayed long enough. The first winner, tell me, do you want the wrong way wrap or the right way wrap? I can't get my words out. All right, who's the first winner? Robin! Congratulations, Robin. So did you want the one you said with the egg here? Or did you want this one? Has a butterfly on the back. Get some water. Yay, Tanya. Well, have fun. Hey, by the way, those of you that have subscriptions and you probably haven't received it yet, you might come to my website and make sure that your payment information is up to date. I did send out reminder notices to about 15 people that had something weird going on with their subscription. So if you would check your junk mail for Linda Israel, you will hopefully find that email and answer it. I also have my newsletter that will be coming out Thursday. If you want to subscribe, go over to lindaisrael.com and fill out the email link. Robin wants the eggs. So this one with the eggs right here. Okay. So Robin gets the right way. I got to fix it. All right. Then let's pick the second winner. And the second winner is Sandra Lewis. Congratulations, Sandra. You won the other journal. All right. I think I did everything. Yay, Robin. Hooray. She's happy, happy, happy. Yay. Wait, yay, Sandra. Congratulations. You won the other journal. All right. So if you would do me a big favor, would you leave a comment on this video what you thought was the most fun, what you liked the most, what inspired you the most, whatever it may be, some positive words. Leave that after this video is over with. If you've purchased a product from me, go to the website, log in, and then go to the product that you purchased and leave a review. That way other customers that come to my website know, this was what to expect from that product. Yay! Okay, thank you, Sandra. All right. What else? Give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends. I'll be back Thursday is my plan. I'm going to clean up a little bit, and I want to do some mixed media Thursday and make a couple of things with some mixed media techniques and ideas that I have. What else? I've got a tutorial coming out Thursday as well, and that will be for the April challenge inside the Friendly Junk Journal People Facebook group, so be on the lookout for that. I've recorded a video today that I need to edit, and that will be coming out this next week as well. All right, everybody. Y'all have an amazing day. Lots of love to you. I'm going to get over here to the computer screen so I can log out. Y'all have an amazing week and do something fun, do something creative. Come over to the Friendly Junk Journal People Facebook group and share what you've been making. Take a picture and just say, hey, this is what I'm making, and who inspired you or what inspired you. All right, everybody. I'm going to get off here. Have a good night. Lots of love to everybody. Bye.